Alright, what up, everyone? We're here for the final watch party of the season, at least for the Showdown divisions. So, yeah. I know the layout looks a little scuffed. My hair looks so goddamn blue. What the fuck? Is it because of the green screen effect? Is this why? No, it just looks blue. That's wild. Cool. Well, yeah, we're here with the watch party. So we're gonna start with the Mew games today. So we're gonna start. How we're gonna do it is we're gonna go through quarterfinals for Mew, then semis, then finals, and then just move on to the next division. Just makes it a little faster, a little more organized for when I have to cut it up into pieces, and it just helps us like follow along. So yeah, we might have some people pop in here later in the call, but for now it is just me while we get started. No one's like said anything yet about specifically hopping in, but I just like shot out a message and was like, hey, I'm gonna do the watch party. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, we're going to get into it. Our first game, like I said, for the Mew division. Let me see if I can turn down this music a little more. We have Bree versus Southern Cavern. For Terras, we have Terra Water, Raging Bolt, and we have Terra Ground on the Skeleturge. How you doing, Tay-Taz? Alright, so Reshiram just immediately drops a Draco. As Vaporeon chooses to start setting up. Doesn't want to get toxic, though, I'd assume. Very fair play. I feel like Barb Barrage, even though it has a 50% chance to poison, just doesn't. Tries to predict the Gengar with a Crunch, but doesn't do much to Mandibuzz. See, now you can spam Draco on this, and it was a massive crit. Very unfortunate. Does miss the follow-up one, though, so kind of makes up for it a little bit. It's going to be hard to pass the Wish over to Skeleturge to get it healthy. Same with Malignant Chain 50% of the time. Yeah. It really does feel like it never happens. And then it makes you like start questioning. It's like, does the enemy have a Covert Cloak? This Reshiram is just continually coming in and dropping Dracos. But Vaporeon's kind of tanking them somewhat decently. Alright, and so we do finally see the Skeleturge sack, and Palkia comes out. Raging Bolt eats that Draco up, and just does so much in return, man. It's crazy that the Ubers like get countered as easily as they do by some Pokemon. Like, Raging Bolt just ate. Gets a poison off Mandibuzz, which you never like to see. All right, let me pause this for 1 second. I have to do something for Matt. There we go. Where's the button? Sorry. Okay. There we go. Alright, we see Palafin finally come out in the hero mode. Barbarage is going to do a bit more this time. Still not a lot of damage, though. See, that's another no poison. See, it doesn't really happen. I'm telling you. Sunny Day Solar Beam from the Reshiram. Hell yeah. And it gives photosynthesis. That's some cool prep. This has to be like Assault Vest, right? The way it's just eating these special hits from everything. Alright, Mandibuzz goes down. Oh, and that not breaking the sub kind of seals the deal. Because it's probably going to have something like Drain Punch to hit Vaporeon. Since it has Water Absorb. Oh yeah, he's just setting all the way up. And gets all that health right back. 2 crunches don't even break the sub at this point. So that is going to be game for Cavern. Dang, beforehand takes 1, but obviously it's not going to do anything. If it had Roar, could have been cool, but... It sucks, because Meowscarada, like, if it wasn't for the sub, could easily break through this with Flower Trick. Alright, so Cavern moves on to the semifinals. Up next, we have EJ versus Big Dave. For the Terras, it is Terra Fairy, Iron Boulder, and Terra Flying Landorus. I feel like that ability is so frustrating to play against. Like, you're already getting poisoned, and then it's like, you know, let me just make you hate yourself in confusion on top of it. What up, sorry? This thing is just going to poison the entirety of EJ's team. Hey, well, perfect time to not be tired, because we're going through the Mew division, and we haven't hit your battle yet. We're still on the quarterfinals. We have to see a flash cannon come out. Could have just nuked the Ninetales. You have to work in like 4 hours. I could never. Dude, I need like 8 hours of sleep. Otherwise, I just can't function. And even then, I still drink 2 energy drinks a day. Having Yawn and the poison is, like, you're just gonna get status either way, right? But it feels like the Yawn just isn't as good, because you're not gonna be able to click it all the time. Like, there, it failed. Oh, yeah, I meant, like, on the Switch into Ninetales, Flash Cannon could have been cool. I didn't expect it to stay in afterwards. Because that Veil is just, like, it makes it so difficult to break through the team. He stayed in there, trying to just predict the Veil. Works out, knocks out the Rotom. I think that's a Scarf Shaman to outspeed Slush Rush on Sandslash. Has to be. Big crit. And I think that just, that wraps it up there. I don't think the crit, like, sealed the game or anything. I think it was still, not looking good. But, you know, it doesn't help. So we see EJ knocked out, with Big Dave moving on. Up next, we have Cuban versus Spike. Terras are... one second. Terra Ground on Thundurus, and Terra Fire on Ursaluna. Oh yeah, the flinch was definitely the cherry on top, you know? Terra Fire is really good for breaking through the Corviknight. Mirror armoring the defense drop is kind of funny. Cuban does have Tailwind for this right now. Spike is switching around it quite well. Big crit Hex coming out there on the Torn as we see another Tailwind. Mirror Armor is such a cool ability. I wish it wasn't a signature ability. Because it's like, you just don't see it on Corv that often. Because Pressure is just kind of good on it. And there goes Samurott. That Ursaluna is definitely a menace. Ooh, big crit there. Able to take out the Corviknight from it. Not a big miss there, just because it wouldn't have done much. Throat Chop, though. That did more than I would have thought. looks like Sneasler's going to go for it here. Ooh, Trailblaze not quite enough. But Grassy Train's keeping him from taking big damage there. Yeah, I think Zekrom plus Ursaluna can probably seal it here for Cuban. Yeah, plus, if this has Grassy Glide, then it just KOs. Yep, so Cuban moves on, and Spike is knocked out in the in the quarters, moving Cuban on to semis. For our final game in the quarterfinals, we have Starry versus Troy. Terras are Terra Water Dragonite and Terra Poison Iron Hands. Alright, gets the webs up. Which, only removal is Tropico, so we'll see. Remember this start, okay. Foreshadowing, I guess. Trick Toxic Orb. That's kind of funny. He's just poisoning everything, which makes sense. Toxic Orb Trick was for Ho-Oh, but it worked out on Shaman pretty well. Yeah, I like that, because at least it's going to consistently be poisoned. Alright, there's Terapagos. You know, I feel like we always give Matt a lot of crap for drafting Florges and Milotic, but Starry just gets away with drafting Spectrier like every season, and no one says a word. Getting the curse off. Just tanking the health. Alright. Two big DDs, a waterfall. Yeah, Dragonite might just run away with it here. Bring in Fly. Hell yeah. We have Gyarados at home. Yep, and Urshifu is just going to wrap up the game. Wing attack wasn't strong enough. You know what? That's fair. Gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so that puts Starry onto the semifinals, and we're actually hopping right into that with Starry versus Cuban. We have Terra Ground on Dragonite, and Terra Flying on Ursaluna. Surprised we didn't see an Ariados lead. It's just easier, Tay-Taz, for editing later. Just explodes. Couldn't get off a Volt Switch and was just like, you know what? Boom. And then gets the webs. Okay. Fair. Yeah. It was a good Ursaluna lure. Because you got rid of it right away. Didn't have to deal with the Terra. Oh, it was Life Orb? I just totally... It didn't pop. Does it not pop on Explosion? Alright, we see the Sneasler getting set up here. Oh, but has the Koba Berry in prep. That's great prep. Was it specifically for that? Doesn't show with Explosion. Makes sense. That's a good taunt. Oh, it was for Torn? Well, it worked. Oh, it's barely hanging on. So, pretty much just goes Thwacky. Yep. Able to knock this out. You still got 3 demons in the back, though. He's still got 2 powerhouses himself. Yeah, you don't have to do too much, like, customization with Urshifu. What were your overall thoughts on Magearna, though, this season? The best mod you've ever drafted. I mean, it makes sense. It's so versatile. You can do just so much with it. And it's so strong at everything it does. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to carry this one away. Flare Cannon here is going to knock this out. Didn't get to run it physical. And maybe you'll get another opportunity, you know? Because I think we'll come back to Ubers at some point. Probably not right away, but at some point. Yep, and there goes Thwacky. Yeah, and Cuban said in the game chat, missing the Flare Cannon helped. It did. Alright, on to our other semifinals game. We have Big Dave. Nope. Yep, actually it is Big Dave. I don't know. Big Dave versus Cavern. And it is Terra Electric Raging Bolt and Terra Grass Iron Boulder. Yeah, I don't know about that whole allowing it next season. Get to burn on the blue flare. That's very unfortunate for Snorlax, unless it has rest here, which does not seem to. Yeah, we're allowing some crazy stuff, Starry, but I don't think Magearna is going to be one of them. Big earth power there. Kind of a 2-for-1 though, so it didn't really work out for Big Dave the best because he pretty much lost his Snorlax as well. I wasn't the biggest fan of Raging Bolt when I used it, but I don't think I used it that well. So yeah, you can EV it very customizably. I felt like I always just put like max special attack, some HP, and then or a lot of HP, and then if I needed any speed, I would put it in. I do think, if we go back to Ubers, I think having the whole, like, gold tier system versus not gold tier was, like, I don't know if it was too much, because I feel like, for, like, Cavern's team, like, both Reshiram and Mewtwo's, like, I don't know, I feel like that's too strong. I feel like it should just be maybe one Uber, or allow it just, like, I don't want to say free reign, like, to grab whatever, but, I don't know, we'll have to definitely take that into consideration next time. Because I feel like he got a lot of value out of Reshiram. And maybe we just undervalued it, you know? Because then there's other things like Fluttermane that Arch had. And Arch did very well in... He made... I won't spoil. But he had Fluttermane plus another Uber, and it didn't feel too overwhelming to me, at least. So, I think it just depends on the scenario. Oh, these confusions are just rough. I know the Zacian's weak, but I don't think Palafin's going to be able to break through this plus Shaman. And plus, Petront lives the Psy Strike. Goes for the Healing Wish. Passes it to Boulder. Okay. And it's Terra Grass, so it's going to be able to eat this hit. Yep. Very good play with the Healing Wish. Wow. I would not have expected that. I feel like the Shaman, even if it wasn't Healing Wish, could have won either way. But that was still cool. Alright, so that brings us to our Mew finals between Starry and Big Dave. The Terras are Terra Ground Iron Boulder as well as Terra Ground on Dragonite. You Healing Wish expecting Ice Punch, which makes sense, because I was thinking he was going to click Ice Spinner as well. But with the way it worked out and him clicking Sub, you know, the other move worked, you know, but yeah, it worked, so it doesn't matter, you know. Alright, let's see this finals, though. I know I skimmed through this a little. I skimmed through all the finals when I was making the announcement. But I didn't actually, like, sit and watch it, so let's see it here. See, it never poisons. Ever. Citrus Berry, very helpful there, allowing this to live another round of Surging Strikes. I like that you're just clicking Yawn here to stall out screen turns as best you can. Petron really eating the surging strikes. There's a poison. Does cure both with a Lumberry, though. Ooh, if he Terra Grounds there, he is able to take him out. Doesn't really matter, though, since he didn't get a poison. Just risky. The red card makes sense in case it got like a Swords Dance up or something like that. Because it seems like Magearna can take a +3 hit pretty decently. Alright, Shari chooses to let Iron Moth go to sleep here. I feel like he had to let something go, otherwise Snorlax was just going to keep getting leftovers. Setting up some Tailwind, alright. Trying to figure out what he wanted to be faster than. Or what. I mean, obviously this being faster than Spectre Air is nice, but I didn't know if there was anything else he was setting it up for. Spec gets all that HP back with Draining Kiss. This boulder is just doing a lot of damage. Yeah, and with the speed boost, it is just still faster and is able to knock out the last two. Making Big Dave our Season 7 Mew champion. Yeah, his team is very, very fast. Alright. Up next, we are going to be going through our Victini games. I really liked my draft 2 after the transaction, so I'm going to just draft offense. Because how I build doesn't work with balance at all. That's fair. Hey, at least you figured that out, you know. Like, I figured out I kind of really fucked with, like, the whole Sun thing, but at the same time, too, it felt not as flexible as I wanted it to be. Like, I think I built my team too much around Sun, instead of having this be, like, an option. Alright. On to Victini. With our first match between Joe Mama and Tataz. Wait. I opened the same battle twice. Hold up, hold up. Okay, wait. What the fuck? I'm so confused now. Something's fucked up here. I should have checked beforehand. I thought I had it right, though. Okay. Oh, so I think I'm missing this battle, then? Yes, that's... the, okay. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I just could not find that battle. Alright, so with the Victini division, starting off, we have Kyle versus Poncho. Poncho brings Terra ground on Raging Bolt, and Kyle brings ground on Zarude. We're seeing a lot of substitute, I'm noticing, in the playoffs. Yeah, Poncho's team was really good. Both sides get their rocks up. Poncho doesn't have any form of removal. Kyle has both defog and rapid spin potential. It's a big U-turn there. You could have Terra'd to avoid all that damage. I know. Some of these teams were wild, man. I think we gave too many points, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Kyle gets rid of the rocks and knocks out Uxie. Yeah, it's always good to have that instead of just having like those 1 or 2 pointers that don't get any value, which the only time they do is when you like an area dose or something, like how you did. Kyle pops the Shook on Goldango. He played that Excadrill really well. Poncho didn't really have a good switch into it, though, with Mold Breaker. Rayquaza eats a Moonblast from Valiant. I think, if I recall, Kyle was Focus Sash, so it didn't really matter. It's a close one, though. What's Ray's bulk? I think it's like 90 across the board, I want to say. I know it's 90 HP at least, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe it's more. Alright. Can Zarude eat an Ice Shard and land a Power Whip? He might be able to just knock off. Lives on 2%. Taking Kyle to the semifinals. Alright. Up next, we have Alicalcos versus Mr. Monkey. We have Annihilate, which is Terra Fairy, and Hydrapple, which is Terra Water. The Hydrapple almost just died immediately. Wow. Luckily, it's going to be able to regenerate that off, but can't say the same for the Annihilate. Bulk up Sub Thunderous. And we got Gliscor behind screen, setting up SD, eating the Zen headbutt. Ab just swallowed it. Brick Break gets rid of the screen, so it's going to do a little bit more damage now. Screens they're very good. I feel like they're underrated, too. This Gliscor, Surf on Garchomp. Hell yeah. But, I think this Gliscor might just win. It's set up, man. Oh, Zama can't even take a hit. It didn't have its defense boost, though, to be fair. Yeah, I think, not even that I think. I know Gliscor just wins this at this point. Like, my goodness. Facade is so strong. And it's like, it just works so well because you're always going to be poisoned. Always. So that moves Mr. Monkey to the semifinals. Up next, we have... Why do I feel like this is not correct for some reason? It is, okay. We have Tataz versus Joe Mama. We have Terra Ground on Lando. And Terra Poison on Manaphy. He said, Kricketune, let's go. We'll see if Kricketune gets webs off. Zama goes down just immediately. Wait, what? What did I feel like I missed something because it just dropped. Oh, it swapped in. Okay, for the Manaphy. Gotcha. I feel like most of the Webbers get knockoff now. Like Spidops, Kricketune, Ariados all get it. It's just like the higher tier ones that don't. Custap, Endeavor with Endure. Hell yeah, dude. Joe Mama's bringing heat over here and then still gets the sticky web off. Look at the name of his Lando. Goes for the gravity so that he can guarantee these Terra Ground EQs, which is so cool, into a Zapdos and a Staraptor. This is so cool. Oh, but it's Choice Scarf Mewtwo, so it's still faster in the webs. Yeah, it sucks that Gravity can't, like, have its turns extended. It should be able to. It's really not, like, as game-breaking as Trick Room is. Or, like, Tailwind. But I guess for the accuracy of moves, like, that part, you know. Like, Zap Cannon and stuff gets really strong. All of his names are just... I just noticed. Alright, we know this is Choice Scarf, but Manabus ate that Thunderbolt. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'll go back and look at the nicknames Tate has. I'm really bad about paying attention to nicknames generally. Are they all This one's this one's really funny. That's funny. But with that game, Joe Mama moves on to the semifinals. It was like it could have been. We only saw a U-turn from it. Oh wait, we got one more in the quarterfinals. Sorry, we have Zethus versus Tubluber. Zethus bringing his powerful ass Sun team. I'm jealous of this Sun team. I wanted this Sun team. Mine was like a Sun team at home. He said he'd pick Cramorant and didn't. Yeah, he is a coward then. Alright, we have Terra Steel Walking Wake, and I don't know if oh, it's Terra Fire Blaziken. That's what it is. Dude, I know. It's insane. Alright, so we see webs go up on one side, rocks go up on the other. Tubluber trying to take advantage of the sun. Gets burned, though. Has a Lumberry and gets rid of the webs, but they're not gone for good yet. Oh, poor Blaziken is, though. But takes ground with it, so it makes Zethus' team a lot less scary now that there's no sun. Well, once there won't be sun, I should say. Alright. Goes for the switcheroo, and, yeah, gave him the lagging tail, which was cool. Which, I mean, the Grafai did go down, but passing... Hold up. Like, passing this the lagging tail, awesome. Like, it makes Fluttermane a lot less scary. Can I acknowledge, though, I would have never in my life been prepared for a Masquerain clicking Solar Beam on my Great Tusk. I wouldn't have expected it. I'd maybe thought Air Slash or something like that, you know? Not Solar Beam. That's good prep because it also hits Quagsire, so hell yeah. Oh, god damn, that scared the fuck out of me. Niv, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it, dude. Alright, Energy Ball coming out to knock out Quag. Even with the lagging tail, this thing is still really, really strong. He's still got both never mind. He's got one dragon in the back. It's Terra as well. This is a close game, though, for sure. Tube definitely brought it back a little bit. Because it felt like at the start that Zethus was definitely in a better position. Alright, and that pushes Zethus into the semifinals. We're first, though, going to watch Mr. Monkey versus Joe Mama in their semifinals match, where we have Terra Fire on Landorus and Terra Ghost on Annihilate. Joe Mama taking out Empoleon early on. Probably going to see screens go up here if I had to imagine. We've been seeing a lot of those. Lando blocks in the Grimmsnarl. And has the clear amulet prevent... Oh my goodness. The heat that I am seeing right now. Clear amulet to stop it from swapping out. It can't do anything. I don't know if I would have Terra'd there, though. I think I would have kept it as its pure type to not get Thunderwaved. I think that's the only thing. But otherwise, this is nuts. And you're getting paralyzed a ton. Knocking out the Grimmsnarl as the Reflect goes down here. See, and right here, like, you are set up to win the game if you're not paralyzed. Oh, that is so unfortunate. It's so... Oh, man, it makes me so sad, because that was so good, dude. Iron Moth drops. And Gliscor's going to do it again. Unless we maybe see a foul play here. Okay, Whirlwind at least prevents it for now. Well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Lando definitely still didn't win the game there because no matter what, Iron Moth was faster if it wasn't paralyzed. So I take that back, but still, that was so heat. Those Rage Fists are going to start to hurt, especially with that Terra Ghost. Yeah, usually if there's Scarf final game, it makes sense too. Because it's got just a fat HP stat. Annihilate is so bulky. Damn. That was a good Lando set. Yeah, I think a lot of us underestimated Dialga Origin quite a bit. Myself included. Okay, I am going to speed this up a little bit here. You know, I feel like this is just going to... Yep, there we go. Alright, so that puts Mr. Monkey in the finals. Alright, let's find out who his opponent's going to be. We have Zethus versus Kyle. We have Terra Water on Zarude and Terra Steel on Walking Wake. That's true. Like I said, I don't think it mattered at the end of the day, though, because if he had Scarf and Eye Leap, and then the other guy was faster anyways. Rayquaza coming out, blocking the sun and going for a Surf. Doing big damage. Airlock's really good into Zethus' team. What up, Billy? We got scary gouging fire here. I feel like it, like at least in terms of like how much I've seen gouging fire do like in the past, I feel like it was overshadowed a lot by Walking Wake just because it could Terra. At least in the games that I saw. It's dumb that it doesn't get Will-O-Wisp. It should. Yeah, it's already good enough, though, to be fair. Zethus not going for the knockoff there, forgetting that it had already used its item. Lava Plume's not a bad move, though, especially, like, if you want burns. You're going to get them for sure. You know, it's just like if you go for Discharge. Same, you know. But for some reason, like, I feel like Lava Plume and Discharge are both overlooked in comparison to Scald. But I think it's just because water is just so much more spammable. Yeah, that is true. Lava Plume also doesn't have the greatest distribution. This is a very tight game. I watched this one live. That's why I'm not, like, reacting to it too in depth. Yeah, that extra 10 base power really does make a difference in a lot of cases. Look, Kyle, I know he was Choice Scarf on that Rayquaza, and he was set up to win with Surf if it wasn't for this being a Choice Scarfed Fluttermane. Alright, so Zethus moves on to the finals versus Mr. Monkey. Let's get into it. We have... He brought Terra Steel all 3 matches, Zethus, on the week. And then we have Terra Water Annihilate. This poor Annihilate just gets burned all the time. It's the best way to deal with it, to be fair. Mr. Monkey's getting those spikes laid up. Yeah, you have to use a lot of those, like, status moves to really deal with Annihilate effectively. You know, I was just talking crap about Gouging Fire, but does a ton there to Grimmsnarl. Almost takes out the Empoleon, but it does have Roar. And now we see Fluttermane behind a sub. Yeah, that is through Reflect as well. Wow. go back here because I know this is where there's a big shift in the battle. Because Zethus is in a really good position here. Sacks Groudon. Makes sense, you know, it was going to die anyway. Get a free swap. But Dialga just starts taking bodies with it. Just one after another. And using Zethus' Sun against him, too. Which, now that it's gone, it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to break through, especially because we still see Gliscor there, which I'm pretty sure Gliscor is at full HP. Yeah. Speaking of, there it is. You know, just like Zethus brought the Terra Steel every time, we saw either a Swords Dance or Agility on this Gliscor. Both times. And that is going to give Mr. Monkey the win. It was very close. That Gouging Fire could have brought it back there in the end. But he is our Victini champion. Alright. Finally, we have the Shaman division. Alright, I just want to make sure I have all the right games here. So, yep, this is correct. This is correct. Yes, and perfect. Okay. So, up first, we have Admiral versus They Call Me Gage. For the Terras, we have Terra Zarude with Dark, and we have Terra Ogerpon with, of course, Grass. I feel like the Ogerpons were overlooked a little bit. Like, I feel like getting that, obviously we banned Heartflame, it's way too strong. But the speed boost or the defense boost, really good. Or even the special defense boost from Wellspring is also really good. It just sucks that you can't change the type at all. It makes prep, like, less, you know, unique, I guess. Yawn plus Protect gets the Uxie to sleep. Why did you say Ogerpon grass flavor? Flavor. You eating Ogerpon over there? Because it sounds funnier? You're not wrong. We see Magearna go down to the Goodra. Wow, that did a ton of damage. I know it was a crit, but... I've never heard someone refer to cars as breeds. So... What breed of car do you have and what brand of dog? Like, that's so funny. This Iron Bundle is revenge killing everything. But so is Enamorous. They're both just going back and forth, picking things off. But Bundle going down might not be the best. I feel like it was really good into Gage's team here. But Gouging Fire also looks very strong. So both sides looking very strong. And we see Meteor Beam come off. Zarude Terra Dark knockoff just kills through the Shadow Shield. Another one for this Anam here. I think Chen Pao is going to be able to pick this up here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, maybe not, that it's burned now. The burn. Hey, Starry, you said you'd never seen Burning Bulwark work, and it just did. It won him the game, because I think that Chen Pao won otherwise. Because unless it's like maybe Sash the Rune, but I think we saw it use throat spray at some point. I feel like early in the game. I feel like right here we see it use throat spray with hyper voice. Let's see. Yeah, so it was not. Well, wait, let me. Yep. So yeah, good shit. That moves Admiral onto the semifinals. Up next, we have Grandmaster Cake versus Griggsy. For Terras, we have Terra Normal Dragonite, and we have no Terra on Cake side. I feel like it wasn't the strongest thing in the world, but I could be wrong. I felt like there were other Ubers that were a little more strong than, a little more powerful than Cali Ice. Infernape's just doing big chip damage to everything immediately. Even game right now on both sides. See what kind of Spectrator this is going to be. Probably not a curse one. Dude, that's the third poison Fez has gotten. Jeez. Yeah, Tropicos is poison now, though, so it's not as big of a threat. Plus, he does have Tusk right there. I think he's probably just going to keep it in the back until he gets rid of it. Because he probably has Draining Kiss for the Roaring Moon, if I had to imagine. Pulling out the Wing Attack. He's got Taunt. But doesn't seem to have any sub or anything like that. This CC is going to hurt now, yeah. Nothing to swap in anymore now that Sableye is gone. This will definitely take a hit for sure. Ooh, we see the Trick Room. Cali might just go for a win here now. I think it does just win. Because no multi-scale on Dragonite. Ooh, the crit E-speed. Living on 1%. My goodness. Yep, and Calyrex is going to win. Alright, you know what? You might be right. Sorry. It might be a little too strong. Alright. Up next, we have Hina versus Viking. Hina did not bring a Terra, while Viking brought Terra Raging Bolt. with Terra Fairy. Self-Trick Room, and so much bulk it can use weakness policy. It just has all strong moves in the game. Yeah. I feel like Kleavor is such a mid Pokemon. Like, Rock Bug is just a bad typing. Its ability's cool and stuff. It's just kind of just lacking. Damn. Rest in peace to that Ho-Oh. Yeah, I don't... It just feels like it just doesn't fit in Gen 9. Kleavor just feels like it's a Gen 4 Pokemon, almost. Like, it should have came out when, like, Magnezone and Magmortar and all of those ones came out. Oh, I want to bring this up, too, because this is so crazy to me. Can you guys believe that Galarian Weezing is OU right now? Like, what is Gen 9? Like, it makes no sense where we have things like Terrakion and PU, but Galarian Weezing is OU. Like, what the fuck? It's crazy. That poor Ursaluna just got dropped. It makes sense why it feels like Gen 4 since it's an old Sinnohmon. I mean, fair, but still. Like, you have things like Sneasler and Ursaluna that are just so much better. Goes for the agility, and then Sucker Punch activates the weakness policy. Yeah, that is going to give Viking the win here. Damn, that's a strong Mewtwo. I like that these random niche mons have some viability in high tiers. Yeah, it's just like... I don't know. I just didn't expect it, you know? I don't think anyone did. Yeah, I wish weakness policy was used more often. I wish I used it more often myself. Alright, so for our last quarterfinals match, we have Throggy versus Swift. Swift brings Terra Blaziken with Steel, and we have Terra Necrozma with Steel as well on Throggy's side. Hazards going up on both sides. Are they just going to get 3 layers each? Throggy doesn't have removal. Ooh. Very unfortunate freeze. You hate to see it in a playoff match, man. I have a cool idea. Some kind of draft players ranking all held items in draft tier list type of thing. Yeah, just ranking that. Because like, there are a lot of items that are better in draft than they are in standard play. Kyurem is just going to town with the Dragon Dances in front of the frozen Ting Lu. Slowking's going to try to take it on, but does get a Thunder Wave off, actually. Okay, that's something. Zama's just taking all that spike damage, though. And this Kyurem might just have Earth Power. No, it doesn't. And yeah, Icicle Spear is not going to be enough. Alright, able to take the Kyurem down. Slowking having boots is really good here, so it's ignoring those spikes, but that crit was not what he wanted. Great Terra from Blaziken there. I don't think this heat's a knockoff. Oh, that freeze really just put him in such a bad position early on. He's been playing on the back foot, it feels like the entire game. Necrozma hangs on from a Flare Blitz, but Iron Defense, I don't think... Yeah, no, it's not gonna... Not gonna help, unfortunately. I think this Blaziken just wins here. That sucks. I like how much screen space scale shot takes. Yeah, those multi-hit moves just fill up the whole screen. Yeah, I think, especially when they've been really balancing around VGC and stuff, I think it's dumb for them to still have freeze mechanic in the game. Like, Para's one thing, Sleep's another, but freeze is just dumb. All right. Going on to our semifinals, we have Swift versus Viking, with Terra Ground on the Blaziken and Terra Water on the Raging Bolt. I think they should have added Drowsiness as well, but that's a different conversation. Big Draco miss there. It wouldn't have KO'd, obviously, with the Terra Water, but it sucks to see. And that Dragon Pulse just KOs right back. He said... Viking said, oof, rough dude, sorry. And Swift goes, all good, I got a freeze in my last match, so it evens it out. Oh, man. Alright, and Mewtwo just takes down that Milotic, too. Wow. Swift is in just a really back position here. Gets both T-Spikes up. I don't think it's going to matter. Chardy Berry allowing it to take a hit. Not quite enough with Scorching Sands. Yeah, Mewtwo was really good. I was scared that Mewtwo was going to have a similar outcome to what Deoxys had. But luckily, it has enough bulk to where like it can hang on from some hits. And you can actually invest in the bulk quite well. Alright, we see Blaziken take down the Terra Bolt. Goes to the SD, which, I mean, I get it. You kind of have to make a play at this point. You're so far behind. Knocks out the Murkrow, but not before getting paralyzed. Breaks through the para and the flinch. All right. Swift's bringing it back a little bit here. It just... Never mind. Never mind. I was going to say it depends on how... it takes hits from Mewtwo, Goldango, but it doesn't really that well. I think that's specs. Hey, for the start that Swift had, I'm very impressed that he is bringing this back to a 1-1. But yeah, Mewtwo is just going to take him out. Damn. Great match. All right, and for our other semi-final match, we have Cake, Grandmaster Cake, versus Admiral. For Terra's, Admiral has Zarude, Dark, and Terra Fire on Tornadus for Cake. I was about to say there is no way that Gouging Fire took that much damage. Both teams got some chunked Pokemon. Right, Choice Scarf on Rotom, which we knew earlier from seeing the from Outspeed the Zarude. Down goes the Rotom. Gouging Fire comes out for real this time. Knocks itself out with recoil plus helmet damage. Dude, this Zarude is just going nuts, spamming knockoff. And it's doing so much damage to just everything with the Terra Dark. Let me back up for a second. Sorry, I was doing something. Okay. I wonder if Terra Haxorus would be any good. I would assume so. Like, Terra Fairy, probably really good on it. Focus Sash allows him to get the Unburden, but he doesn't knock it out, so... I thought maybe we would see an SD or something, but... This Calyrex is doing a lot of damage. Admiral does a really good job, though, of stalling out the Trick Room. And getting some good damage with the Rocky Helmet. And it's just another knockoff for Zarude here. Oh, and he just U-turned, actually. That's fair. Admiral playing around Trick Room too well to support my anti-Calyrex propaganda. I know. Didn't do much there. You're going to eat in a Heat Wave. Terra boosted Heat Wave, I should say. And that's just going to allow Zarude to knock it out. Meaning Admiral is going on to the finals to take on Viking. We see Viking bring Terra Fairy on Raging Bolt. And we see Terra Fire on the Zarude this time instead of Terra Dark. Alright, it's our final match. Let's see it. Gets rid of the red card. Okay. Ooh, unfortunate miss because it leads to you getting parried and this thing getting up to full HP. Yeah, especially when it would have killed. Hey, it's the risk you take, though. Gets a crit, though, on the Ursaluna. Kind of makes up for it. Ooh, but it lives the second hit and KOs with an Avalanche. Screamtail giving me Ranbat PTSD. You and your random battles, man. It is an annoying Pokemon to play against, though. I will agree. Another Power Whip miss, man. Oh, Zarude failing you when you needed it the most, Admiral. And a para on the Uxie. Oh, man. Alright, Magearna's going to try to go for game here while being paralyzed, but with ×3 speed. Huge Draining Kiss. Alright. And a weakness policy. And a paralyze. Okay, alright. That is so unfortunate for Admiral. Had the game. And, oh, wait a minute. Sucker Punch, though, probably going to come out? No? Okay, wait a minute. Dude, yeah, Para can be brutal, because I think this just dies to rocks. Oh, no, never mind. That was the other game that it was on 1%. It just dies to Thunderclap, though. Wow. Dude, Admiral, that is rough, man. I'm sorry. But GG to Viking. Making it all the way to the finals and winning it. And if you hit one of the Power Whips, I know, dude. There was so much that just stacked against you in that game. It makes the game frustrating sometimes, doesn't it? But not to take it away from Viking, because he did play very well in all throughout playoffs and throughout the season. But yeah, that is it for Season 7, at least for the Showdown divisions. I think Matt's still going to do the Jirachi Watch Party. He's got to wait a little while, though, for uploads and stuff. But if you guys haven't already, be sure to apply for next season. It's in announcements in the Discord, !Discord in the chat if you want the link to that. But yeah, that's all I got. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out, and I'll see you later. Peace.